Okay, so I lied. We're still here in Jefferson County. I'm sorry, but I found some more history that I've just got to put out there. I hope you guys can just stay with me and bear with me, so let's go. Today, we're going to be at the Beth UMC Cemetery, located in the White Pine community of Jefferson County, Tennessee. And there's some history here. So stay put. Get ready to see if you got some ancestors here. Look at this view of the cemetery here. And in this picture, you can see a huge obelisk in the background. Now this picture shows the cemetery with a church in the background, as you can see. Now listen to this. The church itself was founded around 1787 or 1788. We're not sure which is the exact year. But the first burial took place here in 1800. So we can't pass this up. We got to see what's going on here. There are 210 people buried, but for the sake of time, we're going to concentrate on those who died in 1920 or before. And the ones that we can find a lot of history on, we'll throw them in there. And of course, we never ever try to forget our veterans. So let's get started. Sarah Mims Anderson, 1860 to 1893. John H. Baxley, that's a new surname for me, 1842 to 1929. And John was in Company B of the 8th Tennessee Infantry in the Union Army during the Civil War. We have Alice J. Baker, 1859 to 1912. And if you look, there is a family monument in the background, but we're going to look at that a little bit later too. We got Belle M. Baker, 1853 to 1862, and she was only 9 years old. Emma C. Baker, 1849 to 1889. Florence B. Baker, 1852 to 1859, and she was only 7 years old. Now, her sisters were Alice, Belle, Emma, and Florence that we just looked at. How sad. Now we have their parents, Isaac S. Baker, 1820 to 1901, and Cassandra F. Horton. They called her Cassie. Isaac was a shoemaker, and he was from Virginia. Now look at this family obelisk. I mean, seriously, look at this. How could you miss it? It's 40 foot tall. It was erected in 1920 by Charles H. Baker in memory of his parents and siblings. This is the tallest marker in this section of East Tennessee. And it must have been one of the tallest obelisks that we've found since we've started our channel. I mean, look at this monster. Whoa. And this is their son, James S. Baker, 1851 to 1858, and he was only 7 years old when he passed. So they had a lot of children die early. Next we have Joseph Baker, 1802 to 1880, and this is Isaac and Cassandra Baker's daughter, Mary E. Molly Baker, 1850 to 1911. And then we have another daughter of theirs, Nettie Ernestine Baker, 1860 to 1901. Sybil Baker, 1810 to 1880. Amanda Adeline Boyd Baxley, 1844 to 1914. And you can see that her headstone has been shattered to pieces. Now we have Isaac W. Bewley, 1852 to 1864. Jesse N. Bewley, 1846 to 1868, and his headstone's also broken. But Jesse did serve as private in Company L of the 11th Tennessee Cavalry in the Union Army during the Civil War. We got Melinda H. Lyle Bewley, 1812 to 1871. Next is William N. Bewley. We don't have a birth date for him, but we know he died in 1902. Now, William was a captain in Company I of the 61st Tennessee Mounted Infantry, but he was in the Confederate Army during the Civil War. And we're wondering if he was related to Jesse Bewley that was in the Union Army that we looked at just earlier. So the war really did divide the families, unfortunately. Now we have Charles J. Britt, 1899 to 1977. And Charles served as a private in the U.S. Army during World War II. Then we have Claude C. Britt, 1925 to 1988. Claude served in the U.S. Navy during the Korean War. We have Eliza Burris Calfee, C-A-L-F-E-E, Calfee. That's another new surname. 1829 to 1892. Her husband, John Henry Calfee, 1825 to 1892. And you'll notice that they died the same year. But we couldn't find specific dates if they died the same day or whatever, but they did die the same year. And now we have Laura Bell Daniel Carwell, 1884 to 1920. And this family portrait shows Laura and her husband Charles and their two daughters, Bertha and Mary. We got Robert B. Clark. He was born in November of 1894 and passed the following June, making this baby only 7 months old. Archibald Curtis, 1850 to 1915. Bowling Robin Curtis, 1816 to 1892. In 1861, he took part in the bridge burning rebellion in East Tennessee, and these attacks were against the Confederacy by the Union Loyalists. I'll get that out. And he was arrested later, and he escaped to serve as a private in Company B for the 4th Tennessee Infantry in the Union Army. And beside him is his wife, Nancy Shell Curtis, 1818 to 1890. Then we have George J. Curtis, 1884 to 1900. Hugh Henry H. H. Dalton Sr., 1881 to 1909. Nancy C. Dalton, 1868 to 1919. C. L. Daniel, 1894 to 1919. And C. L. served as a sergeant in Company G of the 7th Division of the 56th Infantry of the U.S. Army. And we're thinking that was probably World War I. And now we have Mary Dennison, 1849 to 1893. And that is going to finish up our first look, part 1, of this cemetery. And like I said, I have been to this cemetery, walked around it, looked at it. It's beautiful. And it is called the Beth Carr UMC Cemetery. So stay tuned next week for part 2. I'm sure there's a lot more history, a lot more people in here that we can probably find as our ancestors, I hope. So stay with us, and thanks for watching. Be sure to share this video and subscribe and tell everybody about my channel. I'd appreciate that. So hopefully, Lord willing, we'll see you next week with part 2. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.